Hello, Star Wars fans! Today we're going to be unlocking the secrets in Skeleton Crew Episode 5. As usual, my focus will be on Easter eggs, as well as looking at all of the clues to the big mystery. So, lots to discuss, there will be spoilers, but as long as you're okay with that, then let's dive right in and see what we can find out. Don't forget, we have a December contest running all month long. Be a subscriber, leave a comment, and you could win a book or a steelbook. Best of luck. And we have a membership option with lots of cool perks, so you might check it out in case you're interested. Okay, so from a timeline standpoint, I think we still got to say that we're in 9 ABY until they tell us different. And then as for when At-Aten was founded, I'm going to say it was sometime during the Old Republic. Maybe the later end of it, but it really feels like we're talking Old Republic based on some of the clues we got in this episode. Okay, so we start the episode with all the parents now working on a plan to reach out to the Republic for help in finding their kids, but Wim's dad gets busted, right? In fact, this is where I think we learn he's a coordinator, because the safety droid explains a coordinator was caught with this, and then ominously says, "Shall I initiate security protocols?" Yikes, I don't even want to know what those security protocols are. But this was fascinating to me. Farah was literally able to delete all the records of the incident and power the safety droid down. She is really in a high position if she can literally shut these things down. And that's going to be very helpful because, hey, they're not going to get any help from the supervisor, so they're going to have to come up with their own plan for communicating off-world. And yeah, Farah finally relents and says, okay, what's the plan? So I can't wait to see what they've got in mind. I really, really hope they're able to communicate off-world. And then we find out, does anybody even know this planet exists? Because I think that answer is no. Okay, so back on the ship, we now learn the name of the former captain of the ship, right? The mystery captain. His name is Tak Rened, which if you think about Rened, you might remember last episode, Jod said Rened's ghost. So obviously he knows who this Rened is and holds him in pretty high esteem. And of course we also learn that Rened, spelled backwards, is Donner, which is probably an Easter egg for Richard Donner, who directed The Goonies and several other movies. And of course Goonies inspired a lot of Skeleton Crew. But yeah, Jod knows this dude. And Jod now realizes the ship's name is the Onyx Cinder, which, of course, technically we all knew, because if we looked at the Legos, they always leak everything, right? So we knew the name of this ship well before this episode came out. But honestly, I am thinking of getting this Lego set just to get the Neil minifig. Look at how cute he is. That is awesome. Look at that little guy. Love it, love it. All right, so Jod definitely knows about Rened's legend because he explains that Tak Rened was the most infamous pirate the galaxy's ever known. And the story goes that he was after the treasure of At-Aten aboard the mysterious ship, the Onyx Cinder, when he just disappeared. And of course, now we know where that ship disappeared to. It was on the planet. That's where the kids found it. So very cool. Then when they turn on SM-33, with him now being programmed to not try to kill them, he explains that the captain kept the coordinates to At-Aten in his lair beneath Skull Ridge Mountain. So now they know where they need to go. And luckily, SM-33 knows how to get there. And then he starts telling the tale of the ship's crash on At-Aten. There we were on course for At-Aten when Captain Rened began to suspect a mutiny. And of course, we did see the result of a mutiny throughout the ship in episode 3, where, everybody was skewered and knifed. So yeah, I guess that's probably true. And it does make you wonder then, is the captain actually dead? I know there's been some rumors and theories that maybe the captain isn't dead and he's the supervisor of the planet. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think that's still the case? Because according to SM-33, everybody died. Interesting. All right, so then he explains that this lair, this secret lair, lies in the heart of a lone mountain. And again, he's going to take them there so they can get the coordinates to finally get home. And for Jod to get his treasure. So, this is really cool. Jod now starts reciting Jedi teaching because poor little Wim is sad and, misses his dad and mom. So Jod explains your fears, your anxieties, your parents. They are what you call attachments, and they're the last thing you need. So he's trying to convince him, to let go of all the attachments of the world, a la Jedi teaching. But this one's crazy. He literally quotes word for word Qui-Gon Jinn because he says, remember, your focus determines your reality. And of course, Qui-Gon Jinn said, always remember, your focus determines your reality. So, okay, Jod has to have either been taught directly by Jedis or had parents that were Jedi. Something. Because the dude knows how to use the Force and he knows Jedi teaching. So, very, very interesting. Cannot wait to get this mystery solved. And in fact, notice he's no longer even denying he's a Jedi. Because when Wim says, well, wait, if you're not really a Jedi, how'd you do that? Because Jod does another little force trick, and he doesn't even say, no, I'm not a Jedi. Well, he doesn't answer the question, but he doesn't deny it either. So, interesting. All right, so now let's look at some fun little Easter eggs here. The banking clan seems to still be around, right? Because they say the banking clan is here for an economic summit, and of course, for the mud baths too. Because, yeah, we haven't heard of the banking clan since, what, like the prequel era? The prequel trilogy? In fact, isn't it a little bit suspicious that they suddenly get mentioned in the same episode where we talk about an old Republic mint? And of course, money has been a subject of since episode 1. They might just turn out to be more involved in this than we think. But okay, now we learn another alias for Jod. Man, dude has so many names. When a former compatriot of his mentions he went by the alias Dash Zenton. What on earth, right? And then we even get another alias for him. Because when he's being chased, one of the officers shouts, "Halt, Dash Zenton," a.k.a. Mad Captain Silvo. That's pretty funny. Not just Captain Silvo, but Mad Captain Silvo. And then he calls him Jodwick Zank. Oh my word. So that's like 5 different names we've been given for his character. Crazy. And then I thought this was interesting. The Bounty Hunters Guild gets a shout out, but not a complimentary one. She says no more low rent guild jobs? Yikes. What's up with that? Is the guild just a mess now? Really interested in knowing more about that. But also, then she gives a hollow puck shout out because she says, I haven't even checked the pucks, referring to, looking to see if there's a bounty on him. But of course, the pucks were used extensively throughout Mandalorian and in other places too. But that's pretty cool. Just a nice little shout out. All right, so then no surprise that a Hutt is taking a mud bath, right? I mean, the only surprise is there weren't even more of them. And I wonder, that marking on his chin, is that an indication that he's one of the 2 Hutts that were in Book of Boba Fett? Or maybe he's just related to them? Because that looks suspiciously similar to what we saw in Book of Boba Fett. Let me know your thoughts on that. So then this is really cool. We get a Muuns sighting, right? Female Muuns saying, no, I haven't seen him when the security guards are asking where Jod is. So we didn't get much of a close-up of her. But of course, we did get a nice look at the most famous Muun, Plagueis, in The Acolyte. So we need more of Plagueis, big time. Dude's got to come back. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. And then we kind of get another Muun shout out because the alias that Jod was using, Professor Gorlox, well, we find out that dude came from Scipio, which is the home planet of the Muun. And yeah, I'm going to say Jod does not look like a Muun. Bad call on who to pretend to be. Too funny. All right, and then I got to ask this. Is this dude supposed to be the Star Wars version of a Cthulhu? I mean, he sure looks like it, right? Of course, the Cthulhu are from the H.P. Lovecraft novels. The same tentacles, coming out of his schnoz. I mean, he looks different, but I still think he's being inspired by Cthulhu. So let me know your thoughts on that. But that was really cool to see. Okay. This has got to be the winner for the grossest closed captioning. So remember where there was a point where the spikes were up there on the ceiling, and then this poor dude learns exactly how this works. He gets shot first, you can see in the chest there. Then he gets pulled up, the gravity pulls him upwards, and he gets munched by all those spikes. And the closed captioning is metallic clink, and then flesh squelches. Okay, so I had to look up squelches. It is the sound made when you walk heavily through mud. So think of that sound in your mind, and that's what they used to let you know what it sounded like when his flesh was scrunched on all those spikes and like impaled. Ooh, yuck. Okay, so here's a challenge for all of us over the holidays. Try to incorporate the word squelch into your conversation with your family. That'll be fun. See how many stares that you get. And then you can show them this episode if they want to know what it means. Yuck. All right, so finally they do discover the secret lair, and wow, tons of treasure in here. But the main treasure they want are the coordinates to At-Aten, which they now finally have. They are nearing the end of this journey, right? And they also see the captain himself, which, they've got him so blurred that we really can't make out what race he is. I'm very, very curious now. Does not look human, that's for sure. But he explains the treasure is an Old Republic mint, the last of the Old Republic mints. And remember, Banker's Clan, like I said earlier, getting mentioned, very suspicious how this might all be coming together. But yeah, if you were to have an Old Republic mint, you could print your own money, and very, very valuable money at that. So yeah, big time treasure. All right, so then we see that Jod is pulling a trick out of Pirates of the Caribbean and is quoting the code. Of course, in Pirates of the Caribbean, the code was more of a guideline, if you remember. But anyway, he invokes the right to challenge the captain. And of course, being an adult, surely he's going to win. So Wim grabs a lightsaber, and I love it. That is not how you hold a lightsaber. That was hilarious, watching it come on upside down. But yeah, eventually it's Jod who ends up in control, now with a lightsaber, and he wins the right to be captain. The kids, of course, escape down that trap door, but man, what is Jod's next move going to be? Is he going to desert him, or is he going to try to save him? What a really, really good episode. I loved it. Let me know your thoughts on what you thought about it, but I thought it was fantastic. Okay, so let's review what we've learned so far. I'm not going to read through all of these. You can pause if you want to read them. I'm just going to talk about the changes. And in particular, number 9 has a big time change. Now we know that the Onyx Cinder crashed on the planet a long time ago after a mutiny on the ship that killed the pirate captain Tak Rened and the crew, and that there's an Old Republic mint on the planet. So, wow, that's a big deal. We learned a lot about the treasure and what happened to the ship. And then on number 11, we got 2 more aliases for Jod. Basically, he has 5 aliases now. Crazy. All right, so now let's look at the questions that we have. So this, again, is a running list of questions. Pause it if you want to read them all, but I think we can actually answer number 8. The question was, where did the pirate ship that was buried on the planet come from, and why did its captain want to keep At-Atin a secret? Yeah, we got that answered, so that takes care of one. And then I'm just going to have to update number 4, because the question was, where did the Old Republic mint condition credits come from? Now the question is, are the Old Republic mint condition credits coming from the mint that Tak Rened was hiding? I mean, are they literally just printing up currency on the planet? And if so, who is doing it and why? So yeah, very, very interesting. It's all coming together slowly. I am really, really loving this mystery. So now we wait for next week's episode, and in the meantime, why don't we all treat ourselves to a mud bath? It sure did look like a lot of fun. All right, don't forget, December contest, be a subscriber, leave a comment, win a book or a steelbook, and there's that membership option in case you're interested in that. And I always love to mention the Discord. Here we are in the Skeleton Crew spoiler section. Right after the episode comes out, we jump in there and start brainstorming away. Here we are trying to figure out, based on that map in the episode, where At-Atin might be located. So we have 1,900 members across the globe, conversations 24/7, and we'd love for you to be part of it. I'll leave a pinned comment so you can join. Also, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out more content, and we will all eagerly await the next episode of Skeleton Crew.